One eternity later.
Oh, little controversial topic on that note as well. Many people have mixed opinions on Andrew Tate. Yep, I said his name, Andrew Tate.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
But I have been receiving his free emails. I've not invested in his real world, or at least not as of yet. I know it is controversial, but the reason why I've been taking on those emails is because there are certain things that I've found talking to people that some people might agree with him and his sort of perspective on life, and some people don't. The thing that I take from that is the kick up the arse in order for me to become more of a man, so to speak. And I'm not just meaning like more of a man, but more of a masculine man in the sense of taking control of my life, making sure that I can provide for myself and those around me, something that I haven't obviously been able to do recently. Also, yes, having more of a physical physique as well, and trying to push further in the way of success of my life without letting anything stop me, without letting my emotions get in the way, without allowing anybody to tell me otherwise. And it's been quite helpful. I'm not necessarily saying that you should sign up to his emails or the real world, but give it a try. It can't hurt. So for me, it's been very beneficial, and I don't necessarily see myself joining the real world, but as I say, having those little emails, or even if you have somebody else, I mean, Simon Squibb, for those of you that heard about Help Bank and Simon Squibb, he's been on Facebook an awful lot, handing out like £100 or £1,000 or £10,000 to people in London, even like places like New York, around the world, to help people start businesses. And with that, Simon Squibb has also been incredibly influential for me to take influential for me to take some daily motivation from, and a few others as well that I sort of sign up to, whether it be like in their Instagram chats, in their Discords, things like this, Telegram, whatever, to try and give me that little boost every day to better myself. And it also helps me learn a little bit something. Every day's a school day, so they say. Something that I've sort of taken upon myself in order to be able to push myself further, especially, as I say, from last year. I was at some incredibly low points. This year couldn't have hit more of a rock bottom than being jobless and homeless, I think, especially with the past that I had of last year. So I've come as low as low can go, or at least in the 33 years of my life. And I've had an awful lot of life experience in that, in terms of my roller coaster lifestyle and the things that I've experienced. So with this, I have understood that you have to keep your own positive mentality. Your own mindset is something that you control solely. Yes, your environment can have an influence on this, but you decide when you want to be happy at the end of the day, or when you want to do something. You can say, I need some motivation, but it is down to your own willpower. What is with my wording? Willpower in order to be able to push yourself further. And I've understood this very much so. With this, I did start by practicing gratitude, and I was doing like daily journals, but then I found that was a bit too much for an upkeep for me, and I wasn't very good with sort of my timekeeping and reminders for me then to pull out my laptop and start typing. It did feel a bit awkward sometimes as well. Now, something that I found that's helped me is complimenting people, but when I actually mean it. So you never know how far a compliment can actually go with somebody, and I've found myself talking to people about this, whether it be my work colleagues, my friends, and discussing what a compliment can mean and how far it can go. And to sort of tell you guys as to how I see it is that, let's say, for example, when I was a bartender working behind a bar, I was meeting an awful lot of strangers. I might see somebody come in and say, hey, do you know what? I really like your red hair. And this person might take this compliment in one way or another. Maybe they might think, okay, yeah, thanks, you're the third person that's mentioned that to me. Maybe they've always had red hair, and so, you know, it's no difference to them. But maybe they've only just dyed their hair red. Maybe even just earlier that day, their partner turned around to them and said, you know what, actually, if you do want my honest opinion that you've asked for, I don't really like your red hair, and I liked your hair previously. They might then go into, you know, a negative mindset themselves and be overthinking this, and it might be hurting them not only mentally, but, you know, having a ripple effect on their life. So turning around and giving somebody a compliment, you never know just how far it could go. It can make their day, make their year. It might even just give them that boost of confidence in order for them to be able to better themselves, push themselves further. So never hold back on a compliment, especially one that you mean, guys. So something else I just want to briefly touch on is to utilize all of your resources. I have found that whether it's been my friends, obviously it's been very eye-opening as to the friends that I've got, and, you know, the real friends, the ones that have actually supported me, the ones that have actually held a hand out there and offered me the support even when I've not asked for it, to then other resources. So whether it just be using your local library, not everybody wants to go to the library, but it's always a great place to go in order to be able to have a bit of quiet time, maybe do some work, pick up a book, and you can take it home. It's not like it's going to cost you 15, 20, 30 pounds like it might do. Get yourself a hard copy. Obviously appreciate a lot of people now use electronic versions, but my point there being is using resources. At the end of the day, when I was homeless and when I was jobless, I was utilizing benefits. I know a lot of people frown upon that, but obviously my point here being is to utilize what you have available to you. Not everybody goes and sees a doctor, but we're all paying for it. So why not utilize your resources around you? And with this, having the internet, there's an awful lot of resources there to use. They do say now that if you're not keeping up with things like AI, even as simple as things like ChatGPT or like Google Gemini, that you'll fall behind. And with this AI technology, it's able to help you better, further push yourself, whether it be you wanting to know what to write in your essay, to how to better word an email for maybe sales negotiation that you've got, to even just how to organize and plan your life. Maybe instead of doing something like the Habit app, you want to plan your next 6 months of goals like I was talking about. Use these software programs. They're completely free. They're incredibly useful. So I found that utilizing what I have available to me and really looking at what's around me has really helped me develop and push myself. My last point is stay persistent and stay adaptable. So I have found that me being persistent in whether that be me finding myself a job or me finding and looking at different places for me to stay has dug me out of the scenario that I was in previously, but also every day having to keep myself going in order to be able to achieve these goals has been something that has helped me take myself to better and better and better levels, not only every day, but progressively through the period of the months as well, which I've been able to look back on, and it's very true. So as I say, again, things to maintain that, whether it be my Habit app or it be me just using like a whiteboard that I've got here in front of me to give me some kind of record, has really helped. And I would say that I am also now living by 3 rules, and these are the truths of life. So number 1, life is not fair. Number 2, the goalposts move. And number 3, there are no guarantees. So you may well be a dreamer like me, and I found that dreaming gets you nowhere, but you've obviously, like I have in my mood board, you've got to have some form of an ambition or a goal or objective to help push you forward, but you just got to make sure that you're not over promising yourself, under delivering, and that you actually fulfill this. And if you don't, to then not stress, because life isn't fair, the goalposts move, and there are no guarantees. These 3 rules really helped me. Can't think where I got this from, a book or some influencer or something, but it has helped me then to sort of brush it off and get going again and still maintain that persistence and keep some form of accountability for my life. Because with me pushing myself to areas where I feel uncomfortable and maybe have a sense of fear, it really does help me to push myself to the next level. Not everybody feels that maybe they can do this, but if you're ever in a situation whereby you get that heart racing, you feel those butterflies, I don't know, maybe you thinking, I'm scared of heights, but somebody's asking me to do a bungee jump. You then go and do that bungee jump if you can push yourself to do it. And then afterwards you think, why on earth did I not bungee jump before? What was I scared of? Why was that fear holding me back? So I very much found that the more I can become comfortable with the uncomfortable, the more it's actually helped me push myself further, such as doing these bloody videos. At the end of the day, it's not the easiest thing to get up in front of a camera, especially to talk so openly and honestly about your life. But like with the feedback I've been getting back, a lot of people have been telling me it's a great thing, and it's maybe helping some people resonate and find that they're not the only ones. So guys, don't let fear get in the way. Make sure you become comfortable with the uncomfortable and stay persistent and adaptable. So there were 10 points that I've just briefly touched on going through this second video like I promised. My third video, I'm actually going to go a bit off piece, talk about some completely different topics which I'm not going to actually reveal in this, or I'm definitely not going to tell you as to when that next video is going to come out, because at the end of the day, I didn't stick to it initially first time round. Obviously a lot of things get in the way, life gets in the way, as people say, but I found that quality is better over quantity. And with me working hard on these videos, whether it be recording them, editing them, I find that the response I've had back from that first video, and would you believe it, it's a 10-minute long video, but it took me 6 hours to edit. With putting in quality over quantity, I find that's going to be a better way of me documenting my life and looking back on it in the future, especially that's when it's efficient. I'm not just jabbering on and talking crap to you guys. So I'm going to say again, thank you very much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, comment. I know it's boring, but obviously it helps my channel in the day. Everybody says the same bloody thing. You've probably switched off by now, but if you haven't, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in episode 3.
That's all, folks.